Good evening, everyone. We come back this week after surprisingly another Hogs heartbreak loss. We're just gonna go straight into it. Your thoughts, reactions.
You know, let me let me just you tell me who wins this game. Uh Passing yards, 416 versus 320. So almost 100 more passing yards. Uh 9 yards per attempt. One passing touchdown to one passing touchdown. Let me keep going down the stats. Rushing yards, 230 versus 59. That 230 is also the team that got 100 more passing yards. Uh, there was 47 attempts, averaging 5 yards per rush, 4.9. So you can get a first down every two running plays, versus 2.3 rushing yards. You could run the ball 4 times with that stat and still not get a first down. 3 rushing TDs versus 2. Again, every single one of those stats so far, the higher number has been all the same team. Uh, Offensive touchdowns. We have uh 4 versus 3. Um, just hearing that, right? Like time of possession, 36 minutes versus 23 minutes. Right. So you would hear all that and think like that's not just like slightly better statistics. I mean, that's 648 yards versus 383. 300, almost twice as many total yards. 7 yards per play versus 5 yards per play. That's significant. More touchdowns, more plays, 200 more running yards, and 100 more passing yards against a team that is only known for its running. Yet we lose. All of those better stats were Arkansas. We played the better game. We had, let's see, there's a total of let's see how many plays, 46 and 47. So we ran about 95 plays. We'll call it 100 plays if you count some of the like special teams and field goal kicks and stuff like that. So we ran about 100 plays on offense. Oklahoma State ran about 75 plays total on offense. Of the 100 plays that we ran on offense, I would say we beat Oklahoma State on at least 80% of those, right? Like, again, we're averaging like 5 yards a carry. We're averaging 9 yards a pass play. Like, we are winning this game on 80% of the plays. But then the 20% of plays that we don't win, so let's say 20 plays total, well, 6 of those or 5 of those are fumble plays, right? A couple of them don't show up on the stat sheet because, it was Taylon Green, picking it up really quickly and still trying to scramble, make a play out of it. So that doesn't show up as like a fumble play, but there was a couple of those. Then there was like actually the true fumbles, pick six, muffed punt, like interceptions, missed field goals. Like if if he makes the earlier field goal, A, we have 3 more points, and B, Sam Pittman has the confidence to go to our kicker again, like later in the quarter, to get another three. But instead, we
But
go for it on fourth down, which I don't hate that decision.
it was
Given
fourth and five. It wasn't
it
like it
was
was fourth and two.
right, it was 4th and 5. It's a tough fourth down. We're at the like 30 something yard line, and so it's like it's a 44-yard kick or 42-yard kick, but he just missed a 41-yarder. So we go for it, and again, another turnover. We had multiple turnovers on possessions. And those are like right there. I just listed 10 out of the 20 plays that we lost to Oklahoma State, and those are all massive game-changing plays, huge plays.
It's the little.
And then same on the other side of the ball, like Oklahoma State, like I said, like they couldn't get their rushing game going. They have the leading Heisman candidate, running back, Heisman candidate. We held him in the first half to under 15 yards. And then total on the game, I think he ended with like 50 on like quite a few
He had
attempts. Like,
he had 17 carries for 49 yards for an average of about three. Not
yeah,
yeah.
that's and their quarterback, again, he didn't go off. I mean, he had a good game. His efficiency was okay, but like it's just because the overtime, it was a long
Nothing
game.
major, nothing.
Yeah, nothing significant. So even our defense, like again, I would say our defense like held up and won, probably 70-80% of the snaps. But when Oklahoma State's recovering a muff punt at the 20-yard line after your defense went 3 and out, like you can't expect them to like keep holding up and maintain that momentum. Another big play, it's overtime. We force a 3rd and 10, and our Story freaking body slams a guy and gives them basically another free touchdown. It's like that's one of like 8 or 9 plays. If you get those back, we're freaking dominating them.
It's just those mental mistakes that we make that happen at crucial points. If that happens in the first quarter when we're up 14-0, whatever, 21-7, it matters, but not as much. Like if Sorry slams somebody and maybe they score in the first quarter, okay, we can recover from that. But when he does it in overtime to put him at the 10-yard line, that makes it a little bit more difficult. Now, obviously, his play wasn't like the reason we lost. I mean, like you just pointed out, pretty much every reason we lost, and they all happened in the second half
All in the second half.
because
Yeah, you're right.
we
That's killer. If you can
dominated
spread
the
out those
first half.
mistakes, if you can spread those mistakes out over 4 quarters instead of two, we still win that game.
Like, say he shanks it in the first quarter, it still hurts, right? Like, and it might come back to bite you in the end, but you have time to recover from it. Him doing that in the third quarter, like you said, led up to Sam Pittman feeling like, okay, he just missed this. Let's just go for it. And I don't
Yeah.
really blame Pittman's thought right there. I mean, like you said, he just missed it, so it's kind of tough to say. But here's my question. Who is the kicker? I thought we had Matthew Shipley from Hawaii, and now we got this random Kyle Ramsey dude. And I didn't know who he was. I looked him up after the game, and he kicked at Houston and Abilene Christian, but I was like, where did he come from? Because everybody said in the offseason it was Shipley, this kid from Hawaii. And now we have, but he drilled one at the end of regulation.
He did. Good for him on that.
But
But it wasn't pretty.
no,
It was like a line drive, like it went in, but there's not like a lot of loft on his, it's not that like beautiful, like nice high flying kick, it's kind of like goes
well,
sideways.
we even talked about it last week. His extra points against Pine Bluff just didn't look like a crisp kick. And this
No, he
one
didn't.
wasn't better. It wasn't better at all. So I don't know if you have confidence in him going, you have to have kicking. You have to have special teams to win these big games.
Yep.
SEC games, you have to have a solid kicker. We've seen that year in, year out. And going 1 for 3 and your long's 46 is not great.
Yeah.
Now, if he would have shanked 250-yarders, understandable, but he didn't, and this is where we're at.
Yeah. Yeah. The overtime miss. Yeah. Again, like
Huge momentum change.
huge. And if you make that, I don't know if the Oklahoma State guy still misses his, but like
It puts
we
the
win.
pressure on them, though. It puts the
You
pressure.
win the game if he makes that, and the rest of the game plays out according to the same script. We win.
Yeah, the Oklahoma State's miss was so big, anyways, because we would have lost. But him missing, like you just said, and our guy making it changes the game. Just these little plays. It's
Little
so
play.
aggravating when you just read out all those stats, and anybody that looks at those and says, "Okay, this team won by maybe 2 possessions. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be close. It's a 14 to 17 point ball game." But no, because we don't know how to close games out. I heard a stat today. In one score games, the Razorbacks are 1-9 in the Sam Pittman era.
Yeah.
And that is ridiculous. That's awful.
Get close. Well, in Oklahoma State, over the last 5 years, I think they are like 18 of 19 or 18 of 20. Like some like crazy stat. Like in one possession games, Oklahoma State just always wins under Mike Gundy. Um, I try. So one of my best friends here is a huge Oklahoma State fan. I wanted to watch the game with him, but he said he couldn't handle it. And we were texting afterwards, and I was like trying to like as a good friend, like give him props, like I was trying to be like, man, you guys, and like I like couldn't even think of anything, even in like good faith, like with my best friend. I'm like, yeah, I mean, credit to you guys, you did what you had to do, I guess, to
Yeah,
win.
you guys got
But
lucky. That's all you can say. They got lucky.
yeah, I'm like, we did everything we could to help you. Like,
That's all you can say.
I can't say that like your guy like Ollie Gordon, man, what a stud. Obviously he is in general, but like against us, no, not a stud. Like your quarterback, like he made a lot of safe passes, but also not a lot of great ones. Like he just kind of game managed and just like hung in there. They had to punt a lot. They had like uh I will say like Oklahoma State's like offensive line, they did a good job. There was no sacks
Yeah, no
in
sacks.
the game for us. And I'd like to talk about that on our side of the ball. I think our O line is doing a pretty good job. They're opening up holes
I
for
think they're
Jackson.
really good. They're so much more improved from last
So
year.
much
It's
more improved.
crazy.
And they're giving, and here's something I want to point out that I hope people are paying attention to. There's a few times that Taylor Green was under pressure, a couple times he got sacked. I want to say that's not all on the O line. Taylor Green takes too long in the pocket.
I
The
agree.
few times that Oklahoma State just decided to like bring multiple guys on a blitz, like he didn't he didn't even like he doesn't, at least from these first two games what I've seen, like he's not good at just like picking the hot route really quick, right? Like he needs time to let the receivers routes develop, to like give them a chance to kind of fully cross the field, to do like double plays, double moves. Like, that's when he's finding the open guys, is when he has 5, 6 seconds to like get a play off, when he's using his legs to get out of the pocket. That's not going to work. Like the SEC defenses, they're going to be too fast. They're going to be coming at him too quick, and teams are going to figure out pretty quick, wow, this Taylor Green guy can run. So let's either blitz him fast or play like a soft shell where we just don't let him get outside. And I'm a little, yeah, I'm a little worried about, again, that like pinpoint passing. Like well, case in point, wide open
Oh
in overtime and throws it at Hall's feet. I mean, that's not even a like, like that's not even like, oh, it was kind of far. It was like it's
no,
a
that
10,
was a
eight
swing.
yard
That was a
pass.
halfback wheel swing pass, eight
Yeah,
yards, and he
8 yards up the field with a defender
nowhere. It was an easy one.
nowhere. You can float that like a junior hire, and it's like it would be fine. Like there
You can
was
even
no
underthrow that. Throw it maybe, but you can't throw it at his feet.
right. And like kind of like a fast pass to his feet where there's like no ability to recover. You're just like, oh, just
And
it's
it's not
like,
like he was under pressure. I don't know if he had a clean pocket, but it's not like he was running for his life and he threw it. Like it
not
was
at
a
all.
pretty
It was
quick
a
pass.
normal, very normal pass.
Yeah.
Very normal level of
And
vision
that's
and
another little play that you just didn't see Oklahoma State make. And the Auburns aren't going to make that, which Auburn lost to California, by the way. Just want to put that out there.
that's
But
right.
those teams aren't going to make those plays, and we have to capitalize on that. And that's what Oklahoma State did. We made those little mistakes, and good teams take advantage of that. And we just don't know how to reverse do that.
Yeah.
And that's what cost us.
I know. It mental like, and people, you know, people want to say like, well, Sam Harris didn't fumble, or sorry, not Sam Harris. Sam Pittman didn't fumble the ball. You know, uh, uh, our running back did. Our Taylor Green did. Our punt return did. And it's like, true, Sam Pittman did not fumble the ball, but when the majority of our mistakes are mental errors, like focus issues, like that some of that stuff can be coached, right? Like discipline, look the ball in, like discipline things, like on the punt returns. The number 18, I don't know his name, on our special teams was the same guy in the first half. They got pushed into Satanga on the punt return and
Mhm.
almost caused him to muff it in the first half. Luckily, Satanga had good hands and held on to it. Same guy that dove at Satanga's feet in the second half and caused the muff punt, caused the fumble because he got pushed. And it's like that's that's a discipline issue. Like, tell your team, like, hey, when it's a fair catch, like, clear out, get out of the way. Like, don't put your own teammate at risk or in danger of getting smacked by you, you know? Like, I don't know why twice number 18 is within a yard and a half, 2 yards of Satanga when he's catching a fair punt. Like, get out of there. Um, it's just mental. These are mental errors. Like, these are things that can be fixed. Like, all of the turnovers that we had was not Oklahoma State forcing something, right? Like, I mean, I guess the pick six, you know, like
But
the
that
pick
wasn't
six
really
is an
Talen's
example of
fault.
like that's not a coaching issue, right? Like that's just like the defensive end made a heck of a play. He beat the guy, he beat our tackle, and Taylor Green made the right choice. You know, Satanga was wide open, but he got hit when he threw. So that's an example of like when that kind of stuff happens, I don't blame the coach, right? Like that's just like, hey, like the OK State guy made a play, you know, and he's Oklahoma State's best, you know, defensive end. It was great for him, you know. But pretty much everything else that we've gone through as like errors are like these are mental mistakes. These are not Oklahoma State just like beating us or dominating us.
Oh, because they didn't. What you already read off the stats. They didn't really beat us in anything. We beat ourselves. And it's the same story, different year. I mean, I swear, every year we do this to ourselves where there's multiple games. We just don't know how to finish. Just make a couple plays. Just make a kick. Just don't muff it. Just, I mean, in overtime, the kick was pushed further because Talon holds the ball too long. Like you said, you just got to have that like you got to know, like I got to throw the ball away. The last thing I can do is take a sack. It's
Mm-hmm.
third and 10. And he goes back 6 yards and forces our kicker to kick a 43-yarder or whatever it was. And it's just
Mm-hmm.
like you can't do play like you can't make plays like that and expect to win against a ranked team. They are ranked for a reason. Now, do I think they're overrated? Yes, definitely. I do
Yeah,
think Oklahoma State's overrated. But still, they're still a top 25 team, and you just can't make those plays.
you can't. I mean, if we win that game, we're probably ranked 23rd right now.
That is bold. I don't know if we're ranked because we play, but I think we get votes.
Well, we got a couple votes actually last week.
Did we? Because we beat Pine Bluff so bad.
Yeah, 70-0. There was a few dropouts. I think we got like 2 votes total. It might have been Sam Pittman. I don't know. But
Going off that,
I mean, I just think because there was so few other like
yeah,
um teams like win, you know, like really impressing, you know, and there was quite a few dropouts, you know, from the top 25. Like obviously like Notre Dame losing, Florida State, you know, got bumped out the week before.
Florida State.
Clemson, you know, is struggling. Oh, it was so nice watching Alabama struggle. I know they ended up
I
winning
didn't watch that game, but I heard they were like behind in the first half to USF.
until the fourth quarter. It was a one possession game.
That is great. You would never see that in the Saban era with a team like that. That is for sure.
It was it was nice. I wanted to see him win, but or the South Florida. I wanted to see South Florida win, not Alabama. So I was like, that could have made the day a little sweeter. Uh,
So with that being said, we move into this week. We got UAB. Obviously, should be a win. But what do we gain from it? It's kind of like Pine Bluff. Like this is a game we're supposed to win. Is it
yeah,
like we need to beat them 63-7? Like how do we move on and like focus ourselves later on in the season? What do you think
yeah.
we need to do?
You know, if I was Bobby Petrino, and I'm not, and he's brilliant, so I do trust what Petrino. I mean, honestly, like our game plan was great. Like again, I can't fault our game plan at all. Our defensive game plan was amazing until the fourth quarter. Like we didn't give up
Yeah,
any touchdowns until the fourth quarter. There was a pick six in the first half. That's where they got 7 and 2 field goals in the third. So, you know, so like good job on the defense. The offense, again, good first half. The second half, we just freaking turned the ball over 5 times. You know, you can't when you only get 6 possessions, you can't turn it over six. So it's not a game plan issue. It's just poor execution, fumbles, and turnover on downs, and blah blah blah. Anyway, sorry, I'm ranting again on the same stuff.
no, that's good.
If I was Petrino against UAB, I would really be trying to force Taylor Green to make fast decisions,
Yeah.
right? Hey, even if you're not under pressure, you have 1.7 seconds to get the ball out of your hands, right? Even if you have all day, this is not the game to like practice your like, you know, bootleg run out like 25-yard, downfield sideline pass because you can do those pretty well already. What we need you to do is make that, hey, quick, like there's a blitz coming, find a guy across the middle. Hey, there's a quick out, do that. Hey, there's like, this fast option here. There's a crossing route. There's a guy that's like just coming open across the middle. There's a guy just coming open, right on the outside. Like hit him in motion, hit him in movement. Most of his passes, if he's hitting a guy while he's running, the receiver is usually slowing down, to try to get to it. If he's hitting a guy stationary. I remember I watched 4 or 5 completions in a row that it's cool that they turned out to be completions, but our receivers were having to like jump up like full tilt and high point the ball. Tesla had that one, and then Armstrong had the one on the sideline, and then what was it? Not Broden, but another player like kind of towards the other sideline. So it's like I would dial in, like force those like more like precision passes, those passes that can keep momentum going, right? Because I think what we saw from the offense was Taylor Green can kind of hit that medium type of pass really well, right? Where it's like he has 3 or 4 seconds and it's 15 to 20 yards downfield. The deep ball, it's not really there. And the like super quick, like get out of a blitz, get out of a high pressure situation, that's also not really there. But what is there is the like, hey, you have decent protection. You might need to move around a little bit. You find a guy on a scramble play. You find a guy eventually come open on kind of your third option, like longer route, like those, he's actually really effective on those. And that's good. So I would practice force the fast stuff because that's what keeps drives alive versus what we ended up seeing like in that overtime, like you were talking about, third down and whatever it was, third down and 8. And instead of making a quick decision, he ends up running backwards, taking a sack, and we end up missing the field goal. And it's like those are momentum killers.
Yeah, that's the thing is that was against Oklahoma State. You can't do that against Harold Perkins. Harold Perkins will eat your lunch if you don't throw the ball within 3 seconds. Like,
Yeah.
I know he's trying to go through his reads, and that's fine, but sometimes you just got to hit the dump down. Sometimes you just got to hit the running back for 3 yards or even, and just let them create.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to trust that your receiver is going to be open after you throw the ball,
Yeah.
right? That's something I was like noticing a lot is like he hit a lot of open receivers, but if you're watching, it's like he didn't release the ball until it was clear that they were open. And that's kind of that like delayed thing that we're talking about, right? Versus like there's a lot of times, more elite level quarterbacks that win in the SEC a lot, when they're gearing up to throw, that if you're looking at that defender, it's kind of like, I don't know that he's open. But by the time it comes out, it's like, oh, he made that extra move, or he turned around, or
You got to
he
lead them.
he
Yeah. Like,
let
you
him,
got to,
or like he saw
yeah.
that defender was going the wrong way. It's like sometimes you got to kind of trust, like, no, this is gonna be there, and there's some risk to that. But like right now, his problem is not interceptions, right? His problem is not taking too many risks. His problem is like playing a little
Accuracy.
safe, taking a little too long, and like getting like precision down. So it's like let's practice that against UAB. Like that's the chance.
Yeah, let's get down those little things. And here's the thing, it is week 2 still, so those things, trust and all that, that's going to be built throughout the season. And
Hmm.
like you just said, maybe that gets built through UAB more. I know that's a lesser opponent, but they're not Pine Bluff level
Right.
or in that between. So the one thing I want to see is us just destroy them. I don't want any USF Alabama thing where it's a one possession game going in the fourth. It needs to be like a 56-20 game. Like it needs to
Hmm.
be they didn't show any life the whole game. We blew them out.
Yeah.
It needs to be no doubt we're the SEC team, we're the better team. Go from there.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, again, mentally, like, how are they going to come in? Are they going to come in with their heads, down a little bit? Are they going to come in sulking that they lost a close one, that they should have won? Or are they going to be like, frick, okay, let's go. Like, we are them. Like, we were every bit as good. I hate saying every bit better because we didn't win, but we were every bit better the 16th ranked team in the country.
Because it's true, we were. And yeah, we didn't finish it, but we were. We played better than them.
Yeah. And so like I hope the team goes like, wait, we play as good as the 16th ranked team. Like you said, probably overrated, but not by a ton, like I would still put Oklahoma State in the top 30, they're
Oh, they're
projected.
still ranked, I think. I just don't think they're 16. I would put them at like a 23. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I hope our guys are like, oh wait, yeah, like we are every bit as good as a top 25 team in the country. So let's keep playing like it. And our schedule bodes well for that, right? Like Mississippi State, Auburn, Texas A&M. Like we have a lot of SEC matchups that we can definitely win. Um, Texas, I don't think Texas,
Ew, no, 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 no.
they are they
They're
are good. They made Michigan look
terrible.
like non-conference game. Uh, that was yeah. It didn't feel like they won by 19. It felt like they won by 30. Like it was crazy. Anyway, but yeah, we can get a lot of those other ones. Like you said, Auburn definitely beatable. If Cal can beat them, we can beat them. Mississippi State. Um,
I texted you. I texted you this. I said, if we want to get to 8 wins, A&M is a must win now.
yep,
And just like you
absolutely.
said, I believe Auburn, Mississippi State are too. Auburn, like you just said, we can beat for sure. Mississippi State, we should win. I know it might be at their place, but we should win.
Mhm.
That's the one thing. That's another thing I kind of want to see this weekend is we carry the momentum of defeating UAB so bad that we carry it into. I believe we play Auburn before A&M this year, right?
We have yeah. Let me pull it up real
I
quick.
think it's Auburn after UAB,
We've got UAB and then Auburn the next week, A&M,
and then Tennessee.
Tennessee. I mean,
Yeah, Tennessee's gonna be probably rough.
yeah. So Tennessee, Texas, I'm just writing those off for sure. And then Ole Miss and Mizzou are also in the top 7 each.
Here's the
I
thing.
think Mizzou's overrated. We always do like we can.
This might be a bold take. I think we have a good chance to beat Ole Miss. We play them tough every year. I
Yeah.
know they're top 5, but their team they just don't scare me. Like Texas, like you just said, I don't think we have any chance.
Texas
Tennessee
scares
just
me. Ole Miss doesn't. Ole Miss, I'm not scared of.
Ole Miss hasn't played anybody. Tennessee just beat NC State, who was ranked by 40. Tennessee scares me so much more than Ole Miss.
Yeah. Yeah, Tennessee's good. So we'll Tennessee, Texas. I don't think so. Of Ole Miss and Mizzou, I think we get one of those.
I would love to beat Mizzou. That would be
That
awesome.
would be nice. I think we can get one of those. I mean, if we stay healthy, play to our potential, um, and then who knows, LSU.
LSU, we always play tough no matter how good they are and how bad we are. We always keep it within 10 to 14 points. So I
Yeah,
think we will keep that close if we don't win.
yeah, we'll give it close.
Is it
LSU's
here? Is
overrated.
it
I'm
here
very
at
worried
Death
about
Valley?
LSU. We're at home.
Woo.
Uh, is it in Fayetteville? I hope it's in Fayetteville.
Oh, we won't get
Yeah, it's in Fayetteville. Dude, this is the first time we've played LSU in Fayetteville in a long time. Because isn't that always last game of the season down in War Memorial?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the most recent years, I
Well,
believe we played
Mizzou, I
them.
guess, took that the last couple of years, huh?
Yeah, but I know what you're referencing. Yeah, before Mizzou took it over, we played them that Friday after Thanksgiving every year in Little Rock.
Yeah, that's
And
right. How long has Mizzou been the Friday after Thanksgiving game? It's only been
uh
what, 4 years, 3 or 4?
24. Yeah, I don't think it's been that long. Maybe 5 at the most. I might be wrong. Nobody quote me on that, but it's not been at 10. No way it's been 10. I don't
Yeah,
know why it's like that. I don't know why Mizzou is our now new rival. Like we hate
no,
them, but that's just because they say stupid stuff all the time about us.
I know, dude. The student body though, they're drinking the Kool-Aid. Like I interact once in a while with like recent grads or people that are still at the university, and they're like, dude, Mizzou, like they're our rivalry. I'm like, really? I'm like, when I was
I
very
hate I
heard
hate
all about
LSU.
Mizzou, like they joined the SEC, I think, while I was in college,
I
and it
believe
was
so.
all just LSU was like where all of our hate went, and Mizzou was kind of like, yeah, this is like good for them. Look at them joining the SEC, giving us a chance to win every year. Like,
That's the thing. I don't see Mizzou as a rival. I still hate LSU more than anything.
Yeah. And I mean, even though I'm not supposed to, I hate Alabama. I think
I
I hate
hate
Alabama because
A&M.
we just never beat them. Like since 2006,
I was
we have
4.
not. Yeah,
I was 4
I
the
was
last
still in high school and not paying close attention. And yeah,
That is crazy. And we don't even play them this year, correct? We don't play Alabama.
right. We don't play them this year. And now that Saban retired, like I think I hate them slightly less because I'm just like, okay, good, finally, freaking Saban's gone. Like, get him
That's the
out of there.
thing. You like hated playing it, but you can't do anything but to like respect what he does. He was such a
Yeah.
good coach. Now
Oh,
this year, I think we could beat him, but of course we don't play him the year we could beat
I
him.
know. If we could swap Texas for Alabama, like if you have to make a top five swap, I would swap Texas for Bama this year.
Texas might beat us by 35, but it will be sold out. That's just how it's gonna work.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I'm curious to hear like Texas fans' view on Arkansas because I know the old school guys, dudes that were watching football in the 70s and 80s, back when we were in the Southwest Conference.
Yeah.
I know some of them held on to like
The
obviously
hatred.
they hate OU the most.
Yeah.
Red River rivalry. I mean, that's like you can't
They
get in the
they probably hate A&M more than us, and then it's
yeah,
probably
yeah. I'm just curious of their fan base, how many people like actually ever held on to that or remembered that. I know in Arkansas, like
yeah.
it's still, I mean, like I remember like talking like, yeah, like we hate LSU, and I'd still had lots of people like, well, not as much as Texas. I'm like,
We hate
we don't
Texas
play
more than anything.
Texas. And
We
they're like,
don't
no,
play
no,
them,
no,
but
we
we
hate
hate
Texas
them.
most, and then LSU. I'm like, really? Because we don't play them. They're not even in our conference. And they're like, no, like, and so Arkansas fans have never let go of the Texas rivalry. Part of that to me almost feels like the little brother that like
It
never got
is.
the chance to beat his
It
older
is.
brother at basketball, because he was always like 5 years younger. And so he's like in his 20s, be like, yeah, my freaking brother. Like, I'm gonna beat him one day. And the older brother's like, you're my what? Like, I love you. You're my little bro. Like, I taught you how to play basketball.
Yeah.
Like, wait, you're trying to beat me? Oh, I thought I was just helping you get good for your junior high team.
Yeah, that's
Like,
how
I almost feel like that's kind of how it is with like Arkansas, Texas.
it is. Yeah, it definitely is. They don't view us in the same way. Same with LSU. They don't view us the same way as we view them. LSU, I think, hates another team.
At least with LSU in the like mid 2000s,
Hmm.
we spoiled them. Not in a good way. We like spoiled their chances
Oh, multiple times.
enough times that like there was some bad blood there, some good bad blood. Obviously like the Miracle on the Hill,
Miracle at Markham or on
Miracle at
Markham.
Markham, the year with Bobby Petrino when we were their last game of the season and we beat them, which kind of like foiled their chances of going to the SEC championship and ultimately in what year was that? 2006. Uh, I guess that was Malzahn's year. Like
Yeah, that was
uh,
Houston Nutt still there because I remember him
that
with
was
D-Mac
Houston
after the
Nutt, but they
game.
were like
He had the
we were
guy.
number three, they were number two. Florida, I think, was number one or something crazy where like we knocked them off, took away their chances of a national championship. So like we've done that to them a few times where we've like knocked their teeth out in the last game of the season and like spoiled a perfect year. So
We just haven't beat him in a while. I can't remember the last time we beat LSU.
we got one on
No, yeah, that one year I forgot. It was
4
Ed
or 5 years.
Orgeron's last year, 2021, and we beat him on a field goal. That's what it was. I
Yeah.
forgot. Yeah, that was the year. Other than that, we always somehow lose by like a touchdown or something like that. It's a close
Something
game every year.
stupid. Something stupid again, as
Yeah, like
usual.
last year, Daniels was the Heisman, and we still kept it within, I think, 3 to 7 points the whole game. Harold Perkins had a legacy game, had like 16 sacks.
Dude.
That was the game Hornsby had to play. I don't know if that was this past year or the year before. Hornsby had to play against LSU one year, and our offense did nothing.
Didn't know that would have had to be 2 years ago because it was at home.
Yeah, and he was gone last year. I forgot about that. So yeah, that was the 2 years ago, and we lost
And the
like
field was
13
like ice.
ten. Yeah, it was
That
freezing. And
it
yeah,
was just like frozen, like guys couldn't get traction, it just hurt. Uh and yeah, Perkins, that was his freshman year,
yeah, he
and
went
he
off.
like broke out, and everyone was like, "Who is this guy?" And then like,
Bobby Harold Perkins.
yeah, I freaking hated that game. It was like 13-10 was like the final
It
score.
was. It was 13-10, and Hornsby had like 60 yards passing. So all he did was run. He
Yeah,
just ran or threw screens, and then we didn't do anything all game. And our defense played. That was back when they weren't very good, and they played phenomenal that game.
yeah, yep,
We still just lost.
yeah, we did.
Well,
That was still under Ed Orgeron, wasn't it?
mm,
Or had they
that might have
brought
been
in?
Kelly's first year because that was the year after we beat him. That
Okay,
might that might have been his first year.
okay, gotcha.
Oh man. Well,
Uh,
I think we've
well,
covered it all.
we did. We just ranted for 30 minutes. Thanks for those of you that listened. Hopefully, you can commiserate with us.
Yeah, leave us a comment on what you guys think about the game. Let us know what your thoughts are for UAB and anything else. Thank you guys for listening. We appreciate the support.